Speaking of education and technology, Israeli scientists made history in 1983 when they unearthed a fully intact 60,000-year-old skeleton of a Neanderthal named Moshe. Now, 35 years later, a team of researchers has successfully reconstructed the first 3D model of the rib cage. This advancement sheds new light on the similarities and differences between ancient cavemen and the modern human. Joining us live is researcher Dr. Ella Bean of Ono Academic College, leading this project. Hello and welcome. Very, very interesting indeed. And how significant was the discovery of the skeleton even in 1983 when it was found?
When it was found, it was the first time that a complete axial skeleton of a Neanderthal was found, meaning all the vertebral spine and the pelvis was found, and that was the first Neanderthal ever that this complete spine and thorax and ribs and pelvis were found in a single individual.
Wow.
One more thing, and in Israel, it was found in a cave, in Kebara Cave in the Carmel Mountain, and it was the southernmost Neanderthal found ever. This Moshe was the southernmost Neanderthal found ever in the world.
Wow. So how significant, in all of these years, was it really hard to research it until we had the technology that we have now that, that you're here talking about in particular?
Yeah, this new research, what we did is a 3D model of the spine and the thorax together. And we couldn't do it before just because we didn't have the technology, the 3D technology, to put it all together into one piece, into one model.
So tell us how you went about, doing all of this work, taking the 3D model, and you focused specifically more on the rib cage area. Tell us why and how the technology was used.
Well, first of all, we had to scan the bones, the vertebrae and the ribs. We scanned it on a CT scanner, like medical CT scanner in a hospital. Then we took each of the parts and we segmented it and put it into the virtual 3D space. And then we invented a few techniques or a few models, methods to how to align it together, because you have one vertebra, one rib. How do you align it into one thing? Because there's room, we don't have any soft tissue.
It's tens of thousands of years old too. Yeah. Not easy, right? Yeah.
And we have only the bones, no discs, no ligaments, nothing.
No cartilage, nothing.
No cartilage, exactly.
So in succeeding in doing this, which is a big success to begin with, what has reconstructing it shown you as far as information and questions we have just about the evolution of Neanderthal species in the human race?
Well, first of all, we see a complete thorax. We can see it standing upright with a straight spine, with a very big lower thorax, with very wide ribs. Okay, so for the first time we actually see it. We don't just measure one rib or one vertebra. We can look at it as a whole. So what we found is that the lower thorax is very spacious, very big. The spine is very straight, and it's inside the thorax. It's delved into the thorax. And what it means to us is that, that the breathing mechanism was completely different to ours. Because the thorax is so wide, it means that the diaphragm, the muscle that does the breathing, is also larger.
I see. So what does that tell us as far as, their lifestyle, or, what the reasons were, evolution-wise, why, the rib cage was built this way?
Well, we know that Neanderthals were very muscular. They had big muscles, and they needed a lot of oxygen for these muscles. So having a big diaphragm and the efficient breathing would help you maintain a high volume of muscles.
Right, that's interesting. So also theories as far as how closely related, are cavemen to the human race. Does this shed any more light than what, you guys already knew in your field?
Well, what we know that there were some interactions between humans, Homo sapiens, and Neanderthals, on the one hand. On the other hand, what we found in the morphology, in the shape of the thorax and the spine, is that it's different to modern humans or to Homo sapiens that lived at the same time. The spine is straighter, as you said, the thorax is bigger. So we see that there is some interaction, because genetics says that there is some interaction between these populations, and we humans, all humans that are out of Africa, we carry 2 to 4% of Neanderthal genomes in us. So we know there is interaction, yet when we look at the morphology, there are some distinctive features that are distinctive for Neanderthals that are different from Homo sapiens.
Wow, this is so exciting. And